In my recent de-explanation video I did on takeoff angles, I got some good responses back. I really showed how my takeoff angle was going from Virginia Beach or Norfolk, Virginia, over to Perth, Australia, and Western Australia. And I got some questions, not really questions, some of them were comments. Someone said, you're showing that in a straight line. The signals don't move that way. I wasn't, and that's probably on me. I'll show you what was going on there. The other one is there's no way you beam west or northwest over towards the west coast of the United States to reach Australia. Australia is down under. And the other one, when I was talking long path, said that, hey, if you're talking long path, you're going over the poles. That's not true either. I'm going to explain the Great Circle and what that's all about and show you how we beam a signal and how a signal's traveling, an HF ham radio signal, either short path or long path around the world. Stick around. All right, to get started, let's talk about the Great Circle. If you've ever flown anywhere internationally, you probably know or experienced the Great Circle, especially from the United States. If you fly, say, anywhere in the United States, kind of central to western part of the U.S., over to Europe, you probably went up really close to the Arctic Circle, or maybe even just around Greenland or whatever, and then down, because you were going in a straight line. The shortest distance is that way. Now, here's a question for you. This is one I want you to think real quick. What is the closest U.S. state to Africa? A lot of you thought Florida right away, right? That's not right. Through the Great Circle, and if you look at the Great Circle, the closest state to Africa is Maine, our northeasternmost state in the United States. That's the closest state to Africa. So if you're in the United States and you're have a signal, a radio signal going from where you're at, your QTH to Africa, chances are you're closer in Maine than you are in Florida, and you're probably going to have a better shot of getting that signal through. I know that's kind of seems strange, but that's it. So let's talk about the Great Circle. The one question I got said that you were showing things straight from Norfolk, Virginia Beach, straight to Perth. Actually, I wasn't. If you look at the globe, or as Jimmy Buffett says, this big round ball we live on, but it's a sphere. I know. Don't say that in the comments. Anyway, and you rotate it and look, there you go. That's an example of the Great Circle. So that's short path for me, actually. When I'm talking to Australia, that would be a short path signal. Not by much. It's almost halfway around the world. But to talk long path from that, it's 180 degrees the other way. There's a great Azimuthal map that's on the internet. I'll give you a link below, but here's something that really will help you give it an understanding. You take the, let's just say it's an orange, the Earth, and you peel it out flat. This map will show you the Great Circle in a straight line. And if you see, I've got one here. I use it all the time when I'm looking at where a signal's coming from. But this is used to, if you have a beam, to locate your beam and know what direction you're talking in. So with that said, here's long path for you. For me, I was out one day with a half square antenna, and which, if you know anything about half squares, they're bidirectional. And I was somewhat beaming, although I was bidirectional, beaming towards Australia. I was speaking to folks in Australia. And as I was talking to them, suddenly I heard a ZS call. And that call was ZS5JY, Norman in South Africa. And I'm like, wow, he must be off the back. So I heard him also say that he was beaming long path to to Australia from Africa. So I tried to make the call with him and completed this call with him long path. Now, long path for him would come right around from where he's at, down around back towards Australia, and then almost the same path as the Australian contacts I make. Here's that contact.
Good morning to you. You're about at 3 and 3. At 3 and 3. Your report at 3 and 3. Kilo 4, Oscar, Golf, Oscar. And 005, Juliet Yankee.
Thank you so much. You're about a 5x3, 5x3. I got great readability here. Are you long path? Are we long path?
Thank you.
QSL, thank you for this amazing contact. I just have a half square antenna up. I'm portable with 100 watts with a half square antenna. Thank you so much, my friend. 73.
That wonderful contact was facilitated by a net you can hear almost every morning, a DX net on 14207. Stan Kilo Echo 5 Echo Echo. What a cool call, because he's in Pensacola, Florida. He's got the dream setup, 5 stacked Yagis. He's if you look at on his QRZ page, his antenna farm in the back, this guy's got it all. The cool thing about this, one thing you hear sometimes on a long path or short path for that matter, when you hear someone long path, is you hear an echo. Almost every time. I'm just slightly north of Stan in southeastern Virginia. He's in Pensacola, Florida. So when he beams south, like towards around the pole, maybe he's beaming to China or in that direction. I hear him. I hear this amazing echo. So I think you could probably hear that anywhere in the United States. So if you want to hear a long path, short path echo, get up in the morning time and just go check out 14207, that DX net. I guarantee you'll hear Stan and you will hear his echo. He's a heck of a great operator. And he's really afforded me the capability. I know he was in my last video. He asked me, what are you doing out on the cold beach? With all that he has, he's relayed and got me set up when I've been on the beach working DX with a vertical to make some great calls. So Stan's a great operator. Kilo Echo 5 Echo Echo. And his call sign fits him well, because you will hear his echo. Probably the strongest and best antennas in the USA. It really is. So with that said, now let's talk long path a little bit more. I've also operated long path when I was in Poland. When I was in Poland, and I did set this up, I contacted my friend Corey, VK4KA, good friend of mine, and I said, Corey, why don't we try a long path? Now, for me, let's just talk about long path from Poland. A short path conversation for me to Corey in Australia is almost impossible. It's not impossible, but it's tough, because it's almost all over land, over across Asia, China, and then down to him. But the common thing, and if you're European, you know this, you hear it a lot in the mornings over there. I heard it all the time. The short path to VK is the other direction. Now, this other direction, once you look at it on a map, is not over a pole either. It's going the other way, almost the direction again that I make my short pass to VK from Virginia. Very similar, but it's almost all hopping from where I was at in northern Poland, from Atlantic, Pacific, and down, and then that was it. That was my long path contact over to Corey, VK4KA. Now listen, this was also a 20-watt contact. It was a rough one. He could hear me. He said I was about a 4 and a 4. I could hear him. Now, I'm going to show you a quick clip. The noise was unbelievable. I had to crank my RF gain all the way up and turn off, honestly, all the noise blanking features I could to get him. But I did a 20-watt long path from the north of Poland to Brisbane, Australia, to my friend Corey, VK4KA. VK4KA, this is a Sugar Papa, stroke Kilo 4 Oscar, Golf Oscar. Good afternoon, good morning, Corey. So there you go. There's an example of long path, short path, and how it works. Just remember, if you look on QRZ and you look at, what direction someone's at, and you look on the Azimuthal map, you can see what direction it is. Just remember, that's short path. Long path is 180 degrees the other direction. It's not over the poles. For me, the only really long path, or for that matter, even a short path over a pole, would probably be if I was trying to talk to Indonesia or China. Two entities that are really, really hard for me to make here, and I haven't made. I've made some Indonesia, but not China. It's tough. They're tough signals. But there you go. There's the rundown on short path, long path. I hope that clears it up. I hope the visualization, spinning the globe there, seeing the line, plus the map there with it spread out, gives you a better understanding of the Great Circle and which way your HF, DX radio signals are traveling. Hey, if you enjoy stuff like this, I want to put some more in it. Just experience what I've experienced DXing and doing. I got like get out on the beach. I get on the beach a lot, and DX was a great place for me with vertical antennas. I like to share my experience, probably more geared to newer hams. But hey, if you're an old guy and you've been around, maybe you can comment if you want to add something to it. And we try to take a positive spin on DXing and help others out as well. Till next time, Salty Walt, K4OGO. Please subscribe. 73.